Hello, my name is Maria Rachel and I'm a digital illustrator. It has been a month since I decided to start, or I think the correct term is continue my art journey. And today I'll be sharing with you some of the growth lessons that I've learned during the past month of creating art. Let's get started. Just a short backstory, I have been an artist since I was a kid. I wasn't really sure if I loved to draw back then. I just knew I was quite good at it. Like, people recognized my artworks, my teachers were letting me join poster making competitions, but I don't really remember if I actually won something. I think there's just one that I won second place, and that's just it. So I really never thought of myself as being so good at it. Talent, yes, but not like those who are really winning and having it all. So I stopped chasing it for years and I've decided to not really pursue being an artist when I started my teaching career back in 2011, 2012-ish. In 2019, I bumped into a course in Skillshare, and that was one of the turning points of how I create art. I got exposed to digital art. I have discovered that I can draw in Photoshop. Although the very first digital art that I've done was created in a software called Krita, and that's because I think it was mentioned in the course that it's like Photoshop, but it's more inclined in drawing because Photoshop primarily is a photo editing software. But after that, I went back to Photoshop just because I was used to it. I've done a couple of digital artworks. I've also started using Procreate, but I wasn't really satisfied at my works. I got bored. Same thing when I was a kid. I felt that I wasn't good enough, especially at this time that art industry is very saturated. So I decided to completely forget it. I sold my iPad and that was it. I moved on with my life. It was a month ago that I have watched a YouTube video of an artist sharing her art journey and how she has improved in about a year or two. And when I saw the thumbnail, the photo on the left shows her first artwork and at the right shows her latest one. And I was so impressed and amazed by how much she improved. It's like I said to myself that I'm a way better artist than her when she was starting out. But then her latest artwork has blown me away. It was so amazing. She is amazing. And one of the things I practiced and committed to doing after I watched that video is to make art every day for 100 days and see how I improve or if I will improve my art skills. Fast forward, after 4 weeks of doing it, I'm currently at day 23 and I decided to list down the lessons I've learned so far in terms of growing as an artist. Number 1, focus on one goal at a time. Like many of you, I consider myself as a multi-passionate individual. I get interested at many things and like to achieve everything all at once. And this has literally taken me nowhere in terms of doing passion projects. Being multi-passionate is a thing. Being a multitasker is another. We just can do so much. And if there's too much on our plate, there's a very high tendency that we end up doing or completing nothing. So this time, I trained myself to settle for a single goal of making art every day for 100 days, and that's it. It doesn't mean that you're not doing anything else like building your audience, be present in platforms like YouTube or Instagram, interacting with other artists. It will just be a matter of priority. So when a moment comes that you have a lot in your plate, you can ask yourself, which is your priority? And that is the goal you have set to focus on from the start. So even if you're able to do the other activities or not, you'll be just fine because they aren't a priority at this time. It's just a bonus if you're able to accomplish them. Number 2 is to write down any idea that pops up in your brain. Like, anything under the sun. The truth is, our brain doesn't have superpowers to remember everything we have in mind. We are naturally forgetful. If I were to ask you what's your lunch a week ago or even 3 days ago, would you be able to tell me in an instant? Maybe yes. If it's your favorite food, or if it's your birthday, or if you're in a special event, but most probably you have forgotten your previous activities, especially if it's not a very important moment or happening in your life. It's like our ideas. They pop up whenever, wherever. And we're bound to not remember all those ideas, good or bad. So it's a good habit to write down our ideas once they pop up in our brain. I myself am into digital planning and I always take notes digitally. And I have a couple of digital notebooks called Content Ideas, Business Ideas, and Brain Dump. Based on their names, like my Content Ideas notebook is where I write down all my ideas for my potential content. All these growth lessons I'm sharing with you right now, I first listed them down in my Content Ideas notebook and then expound them when I had the time to do so. Had I not decided to write them down, I won't have anything to share with you right now. I have a business ideas notebook because I tend to have like creative business ideas from time to time. I don't know if it's normal or if it's our nature, but it's just whenever I get to have some interest in something, I tend to always think of how I can make money off of it. So I started to write down all those business ideas I have in mind to maybe get back to them one time, and I might start one of them in the future. Who knows? So maybe in the future, I might add new notebooks depending on how everything goes, depending on how I would need them. But currently, these content and business ideas are the ones I need to get my ideas out of my head and put them here. Now, in all other ideas and stuff not included in these categories, I put them in my brain dump notebook. This is where I write down everything that comes to my mind, especially those that keep bugging me, those that causing me stress, those that keeping me from being productive. I put all of them here. Even at night when I can't sleep, I will grab my notebook and write down everything that comes to my mind or everything that is on my mind at that moment. Writing down our ideas helps us clear our minds so that we'll be able to focus on the goal that we set in the first place. So, if you don't have yet, try a single notebook first, just the brain dump, and just start writing literally anything. The third one and the last one for this video is to take time to rest. Being an artist, we know what makes us happy and fulfilled, and those are the moments we make art. And as much as we want to feed the emotional aspect of our lives, we also need to take care of its physical aspect. Our brain and body needs some rest to be able to function well. Try to do something different. In my case, I bake a lot and watch Korean dramas. And most of the time, we get inspirations from the different activities we do other than making art. Anyway, in my day 23 of 100 Days of Art, I am hosting my first ever Draw This in Your Style challenge. So if you are on Instagram and would like to join, feel free to visit my profile at Maria Rachel Art to see the details of the challenge. So these are some of the growth lessons that I've learned after a month of illustrating every day. If you have any questions or some growth lessons to share, feel free to type it in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!